Shalom, we're coming at y'all with that video that I promised. This is going to be in regards to a car contract, all right? Car contract, and we're going to talk about the arbitration process, all right? I like to let you guys know in the beginning what I'm going to be talking about because I don't want to hold y'all up. I want to give y'all an opportunity to decide if you want to watch my video or not instead of jaw jacking and grandstanding and shit. So this is going to be about a car contract only, all right? A car contract only. We're not going to really be covering mortgages in this particular video. We're going to be covering a car contract and the arbitration clause that comes with it, okay? This is a video that you're going to have to pay attention to. This is a video that you're going to have to follow along with. So if you are, operating your automobile right now, I do realize it's going to be kind of difficult for you to be able to follow along. So if you want to pause this video, or if you just want to wait and hold off until you get some time to really sit down and grab some popcorn and follow along with this and get your notepad, have your popcorn in one hand and have your pen and paper in the other hand, and then you want to tackle it at that time, then stop the video and come back to it at a later time. All right, because this shit is important. As y'all already know or probably see or feel, the walls are closing in on us, whether if it's financially, whether if it's just morally, spiritually, or whatever. So once again, this is an attempt for me to try to help you all with being able to see some of the things that I see. So hopefully y'all get off y'all what and get out here and get in this fight and start utilizing some of this information, start studying this information. Now, I also give out that clause of this is for educational purposes and don't take my word for it. Look into this shit for yourself, but I am going to give you an opportunity to go and do that for yourself. I even encourage you all to pull out your own car contract. I don't care if you got a sedan, a pickup truck, a SUV, or whatever. I don't care. I don't care if you lease. I don't care if leasing might be a little bit different, but I doubt it. But I don't care what type of vehicle you have. If you have a car contract, pull it out, man. Pull out your own shit. That's probably a good idea for you to do. Pull out your own and look at yours as we going along with this. All right. So now without further ado, this is one of your typical, what you call retail installment contract, right? Which is illegal, by the way. Under Title 15, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and when it comes down to what you can and cannot do regarding consumers and the creditor and the Uniform Commercial Code and all that other stuff, retail installment contracts are illegal. Finance charges, all that shit is illegal, right? But we're just going to go through this anyway. So at the top here, you've got the name and address of the buyer, the name and address of the co-buyer, and then you have the name and address of the seller creditor. And I'm basically in that first box going from left to right. So down below that, it say you, the buyer, and co-buyer, if any, may buy the vehicle below for cash or credit. By signing the contract, you choose to buy the vehicle on credit for the deferred payment price under the agreements in this contract. You agree to pay the seller, creditor, sometimes we or us in this contract, the amount financed and finance charges, which are legal, in U.S. funds according to the payment schedule below. If any amount remains unpaid 15 days after the final payment due date, we will assess finance charges on the unpaid balance at the annual percentage rate shown in the Truth in Lending disclosure. We will figure your finance charge on a daily basis. The Truth in Lending disclosure below are part of this contract. So below that, from left to right, you've got new/used, year, make and model, odometer, VIN number. Then over to the far right, it says for primary use for which purchase. It say personal, family, or household use unless otherwise indicated below. So what that means is this. If they check any one of those boxes, you see where it say business, agriculture, and then you got another box that's blank. It will represent other, right? Look at your car contract. If none one of those boxes is checked, that means that it's for personal, family, and household use, right? Now, If you go under the Uniform Commercial Code, especially on the federal level, it tells you that you don't have to register your vehicle if it's used for these purposes. See, that's another way that you can get out of paying tickets. But you got to know this shit, man. You got to know this, and you have to use it as a way to as a shield. Because keep in mind, guys, I don't get off into all of this shit. I only use it to get them off of me. Now, however you guys choose to use the information is on y'all. I only use it when they approach me and I need to get their ass up off of me. Like the situation I'm dealing with right now with my car contract. You know what I'm saying? I discovered some hella flaws in my shit. And I was talking to the one brother about it a few weeks ago. We was having a conversation about it via text message. And I was telling him the same thing. So this is the only time I use this information. But as you can see in that box where it say personal, family, or household, unless otherwise indicated below. That means if a box is checked below, that means it's not for household or personal or family. This is the reason why I'm saying don't take my word for it. Pull out your fucking car contract and look at it for yourself. Your car contract is going to look very similar to this one. And I'm going to go all the way back up to the top because this is page 1. Your car contract is going to look very, very similar to this one. Okay? So now as long as this box is not checked, that means it's for personal and family use. And like I told you under the Uniform Commercial Code, it tells you that you do not have to register your property as long as it's used for those purposes. Go back and look at the Uniform Commercial Code. So now down here, it says Federal Truth in Lending Disclosure. Look this shit up, man. This is the practice and the procedure on a federal level that businesses or creditors are supposed to use for consumers. Okay? So now you got your annual percentage rate, finance charge, amount financed, total payments, total sale, etc. Okay? Look at your own shit to see what it is in there. All I'm going to do is point out important shit that y'all need to know. But I want you to follow along with me or pull out your own shit. If you got your own shit, pull yours out, but still follow along with me. But look at yours too for the comparison so you can understand fully. That's the best way to understand it. So it's a return payment charge. It's if any check or other draft you give is in dishonor or any electronic payment is returned, they're telling you they're going to charge you a $25 penalty and all these other different things, which we know about that. Everybody does that. If you go to pay your credit card bill and you give them a money order that's fake or, you bounce a check or whatever, they charge you, some sort of fee. We know about that. And plus, this is federal. So it says you got your payment schedule. We're talking about the number of payment, the amount of payments, when payments are due, etc. Okay. Applicable law, federal law and the law of the state of Illinois, because that's where I'm at, apply to this contract. That's the reason why I was saying you guys will look very similar. Now, you might have bought a car in Texas, right? Or you might have bought a car in Arizona or in Tennessee or in North Dakota or whatever. So it may not look 100% like this, but the verbiage is going to be damn near identical. And that's the part you want to pay attention to. That's the part you want to pay attention to. Don't pay attention to the fact that your car contract say Arizona on it and my shit say Illinois. Don't pay that shit no attention. Pay attention to the verbiage. Like the shit that we going over now, pay that some attention on yours, on your actual contract. Because like I said, if you got a car, especially if you paying a car note right now, if you got a car contract, your ass needs to pause this fucking video and don't come back to the video until you pull your shit out and you're able to look at yours while we're going through this video, because it's going to help you. I'm telling you, when we get to the shit that I really want to show y'all, you're going to be like, oh, hell no, my shit say this too, dude, damn. All right, so just keep that in mind. So it has a box that could be checked. It says vendor single interest insurance. It says if the preceding box is checked, the creditor requires VSI insurance for the initial term of the contract to protect the creditor from loss or damage of the vehicle. And basically what it's telling you is that they're demanding that you have some sort of insurance, which a lot of companies do anyway. Even, I know they do with your house. Like a lot of times they won't say you no house, so you can default on your mortgage if you don't pay your insurance. Or in a lot of cases, your mortgage payment includes your insurance payment every month too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people mortgages are set up like that. You know what I'm saying? So it goes into talking about for the initial term of the contract, the creditor for loss or damage to the vehicle, fire, collision, theft, concealment, and skip, which I'm assuming they mean skip tracing. VSI insurance is the creditor's sole protection. The insurance does not protect your interest in the vehicle. The insurance does not protect your interest in the vehicle. I'm gonna say that one more time. The insurance don't protect your interest. It protects theirs, right? But here's the first thing you need to understand about this. What we're reading is a promissory note. This is what we're literally reading. This is the promissory note that you guys be hearing about, other people talk about on YouTube, and they talk about how you can create your own and this, that, and the other, which is true, by the way. But this is the promissory note, which is another reason why I'm telling you, if you paying a car note, or even if you repoed on a car, right? Let's say motherfucker repoed your shit, and you able to find your car contract, pull it out, because I'm talking to you too. Yeah, man, for you motherfuckers with past repossessions, yes, there's information in here that you all need to take fucking advantage of, despite the fact they repoed your car. All right? So it says this insurance does not protect your interest in the vehicle. It says you may choose the insurance company through which VSI insurance is obtained. If you elect to purchase VSI insurance through the creditor, the cost of the insurance is going to be blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you have the late charges, and it talks about if the payment is not received in full within 10 days, or after its due date, you will pay a late charge of $10 or 5% of the part of the payment that is late, whichever is greater. Payment, if you pay early, you will not have to pay a penalty. Security interest. You give security interest in the vehicle being purchased. You are giving a security interest in the vehicle being purchased. You are giving security interest in the vehicle being purchased, meaning you give them autonomy over it. That's what that means. You get them full control. And you signed this shit. We signed this shit. All right, but let's go. It's a additional information. See the contract for more information, including information about non-payment, default, any required repayment in full before the scheduled date and security interest, right? But don't trip, because it gets deeper. That's why we reading it. You're damn right. We're going to keep reading. We're going to do what they said. And we're going to keep reading the shit because it gets deep. This is 6 pages, by the way. This is a 6-page contract. And you damn right we're going to keep reading because I want y'all to see this. Okay, so it says Illinois law requires that the vehicle will be free of defect and powertrain component for 15 days or 500 miles after delivery. And that's just the standard state of Illinois lemon law. Basically, that without pulling out dictionaries and, thesauruses and all this other shit in the nutshell, then saying it in the most rudimentary way. It's a lemon law, meaning if you buy the car, as soon as you hand them the money, they hand you the keys, you pull out of the parking lot and the fucking transmission or the drive shaft fall out, they can't just be like, oh, well, you pay for it. It's like, no, that's not how that works. So it gives a defect in the powertrain component for 15 days or 500 miles after delivery, whichever is earlier, except with regard to particular defects disclosed on the first page of the agreement, because that's part of the contract. If there are some defects and you're willing to pay for it, you got to sign saying that you know about the defects. Okay, it's a powertrain component means the engine block, head, or internal engine parts, oil pan and gaskets, water pump, intake manifold, transmission, and all internal transmission parts, torque converter, drive shaft, like I just said, universal joints, rear axle, and rear axle internal parts, and rear bearings. You, the consumer, will have to pay up to $100 for each of the first 2 repairs if the warranty is violated. It said additional customers sign here only if the seller has told you that the vehicle has the following problem or problems and you agree to buy the vehicle. So basically that's a lemon law. In a nutshell, that's all it is. And most states have it. You just got to, Google it in your state. You know what I'm saying? Because it may vary. Like I tell you that you get 15 days or 500 miles. It may be 30 days, 1,000 miles in North Dakota. You know what I'm saying? It may vary a little bit. But damn near every state has a lemon law. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just sell people, like I say, you pull off the lot as soon as you give them the money and the fucking drive shaft fall out. Well, that's a big deal. That's a big problem. It's very unsafe. It's extremely dangerous. And drive shaft replacements can be very costly. Extremely costly. Trust me. Especially if you got a fucking all-wheel drive car. Okay? So, but anyway, let's keep going. So here's your itemized amount for finances, which is also illegal. If you go to Title 15 of the United States Code, that shit is illegal. Why is it on here along with? Because people don't fight. People don't learn. People don't exercise the shit that they learn. All in that combination. So it says insurance, you may be the physical, excuse me guys. It's a insurance. You may be the physical damage insurance. This contract requires for anyone you choose who is acceptable to us. You may also provide the physical damage insurance through an existing policy owned or controlled by you that is acceptable to us. You are required to buy any other insurance to obtain credit unless the box indicating the vendor's signature interest is checked on page 1. If any insurance is checked below, policies or certificates from the named insurance companies will be described but through the terms of the insurance. Now, this is if you decide to take out insurance. If they decide to take out insurance. So now, credit life insurance and credit disability insurance are not required to obtain obtain your credit. It says your decision to buy or not buy credit life insurance and credit disability insurance will not be a factor in the credit approval process. They will not be provided unless you sign and agree to pay the extra cost. If you choose the insurance, the cost is shown in the itemized in item 4A of the itemized of amount finance. Credit life insurance is based on your original payment schedule. The insurance may not be paid all. This insurance may not be paid all you owe on this contract. If you make late payments, credit disability insurance does not cover any increase in your payment or the number of payments. Credit coverage of credit life insurance and credit disability insurance ends on the original due date from the last payment unless a different term of insurance is shown. So basically, credit life and credit disability secures your payment with the car in the event that you die or in the event that you become disabled. Okay? But the creditor is going to take this shit out on you automatically. I'm going to say that again. The creditor, or what you know of as the bank, the motherfucking finance company, the bank. The finance company is always a bank, right? You guys should know that. Just like the mortgage company is always a bank. There's always a bank behind it, period. So the creditor themselves are going to take this out on you without your knowing. And we're going to get to that. They're going to take credit life and credit disability insurance out on you. You, literally. And they're going to be the beneficiaries. Okay, so now back over here to the left where it talks about J and K. This is all the itemized part. See right here where it say itemization of amount finance. That's all this is. Like I said, it's illegal. If you look under Title 15, you'll see that. All right, so now going further down, let's get to some stuff that's very, very interesting that you guys really need to know. Now, this is talking about gap insurance over here. It says this insurance does not include insurance on your liability for bodily injury or property damage caused to others. That's the regular insurance that everybody has. Allstate, the little lizard dude, what is it? Geico, you know what I'm saying? That's what that insurance is. It's just telling you that the insurance for above is just in the event that something happens to you where you end up dying or you become disabled. Okay? So now, let's go further down here to, okay, let's start here. Where number 2, it say your other promises to us. It say if the vehicle is damaged, destroyed, or missing, you agree to pay us all you owe under the contract, even if the vehicle is damaged, destroyed, or missing. It say using the vehicle. You agree not to remove the vehicle from the U.S. or Canada or to sell, rent, lease, or transfer any interest of the vehicle or this contract without any written permission. You agree not to expose the vehicle to misuse, seizure, confiscation, or involuntary transfer. If we pay any repair bills, storage bills, fines, taxes, or charges on the vehicle, you agree to repay the amount when we ask for it. Letter C, security interest. You give us security interest in the vehicle and all parts or goods put on it. You give us security interest in all goods or parts put on it. So here it is. You done went out and you done bought one of those Regals and shit. You went out and got like a 2004, 2007, or 2002 Regal. And you went out there and put some 20s on it or some 22s or whatever, but the car wasn't paid for and it got repossessed. Or you put 10 on the windows or whatever. You cannot come back to them and say, hey, man, I'm taking that 10 out the window. Give me them rims back and all this other shit. Even if you still got the stock rims. You cannot do that. Because why? You just told them that you give them security interest in the vehicle and all parts and goods put on it. All money or goods received proceeds for the vehicle. All insurance, maintenance, service, or other contracts we finance for you. And all proceeds for insurance, maintain services, or other contracts we finance for you. This includes any refunds or premiums or charges for the contract. This secures payment of all you owe on this contract. It also secures your other agreements in this contract. So I'm going to read that one more time. It say all proceeds from insurance, maintenance, and services of contracts we finance for you. So all of the stuff at the top where we was just talking about the insurance and all of that, they do it for you. They do it. That's why the boxes ain't checked. The boxes ain't checked signifies that you didn't do it. You didn't agree to it, but they do it on their own. And they telling you. It say all processes for insurance, maintenance, services, or other contracts we finance for you. So you're supposed to be able to go back to the dealership and you're supposed to be able to get your oil changes when they're scheduled and the finance company is supposed to pay for it. That's what they mean. That's literally what that means. So it say this secures payment for all you owe on this contract. It say all you owe. So why am I paying you again? Right? Why am I paying you again? It say it also secures you with other agreements in this contract. You will make sure that the title shows our security interest / lien in the vehicle. Right? But now dig this here. For the people that's been following my channel for a long time. How many of y'all remember when I did the video about the UCC 11? Where that goes to show you when you do a UCC 11 search, it shows you what companies have liens against you. And if your shit comes back that there's no liens against you, then that means the finance company don't have a lien on the car. And when it come down to filing a UCC number 1, which is a finance statement, which is you basically leaning your own shit, whoever has the first lien is the motherfucking sole authority person over that thing that's been liened. So in other words, what that means is if you do a UCC 11 search and you discover there's no lien in your name, that means your vehicle don't have a lien on it. Let's say you paying a car note right now. If you really owe that finance company some money, when you do a UCC number 11, you'll see that finance company and you'll see the year, make, and model of the vehicle that you paying a car note on right now on your UCC 11. And that indicates that that finance company has a lien on you for that vehicle because you haven't paid it off. But when you go to file a UCC number 11, you're not going to see that. It's going to come back no record found. All right? And this is for the people y'all already know. Y'all motherfuckers been following me. Go back and pull up the video. This is from this channel. This ain't from an old channel like, my first channel got taken down and all that. No, this is from this channel. This channel right here. Go back through my shit. You may have to go back like a year or two ago because I did the video that long ago where I showed y'all man and everything. So when it talks about you will make sure the title shows our security interest / lien in the vehicle, you will not allow any security interest to be placed on the title without our written permission. Okay? But there ain't no lien. So just keep that in mind. So letter D talks about the insurance that you must have on a vehicle. So as you already know, when you go to a real appropriate car lot, dealership, they generally won't let you leave the car off the lot without having some sort of insurance. Okay, and I know that because I just bought the car that I have. This month just made a year that I've had that car. And although I did not have a driver's license, they still dinged me for the insurance. So I did have to buy insurance before I was able to drive the car off the lot. But I did buy that car with no driver's license. And I'm talking about this was from a Lexus dealership. Now, the car I bought is used. It's not a Lexus. It's an Acura. But still, it's a full-blown Lexus dealership, meaning they sell brand new cars. You can walk in there and order this year's model, get your own different interior, your own different color paint and all sort of shit. It's a real live dealership. So don't fucking talk no shit to me about you can't buy a car without a driver's license. It's bullshit. I did it a year ago. Don't fucking tell me you can't do it. Yes, you can. So now, it's talking about the insurance, that you need to have or whatever the case may be. So now, let's get over here to this. It say, if you pay late or break your other promises, because keep in mind, we finna get to some really juicy shit here. Well, we've already covered part of it. And that is the fact that the shit that they're going to do on your behalf that secures the payment for the car. Okay, so now I just gave you somewhere to start. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, God damn. I didn't realize it was changing like that. I'm sorry. I just gave you somewhere to start. Okay, well, it tell you all proceeds for insurance, maintenance, and services of other contracts we finance for you. This includes any refunds or premiums or charges for this contract. This secures payment and all you owe on this contract. And it also secures your other agreements in this contract. That means everything is taken care of. That's what that means. So now, over here, say if you pay late or break the other promises, you may owe late charges. You will pay a late charge on each late payment as shown on page 1. You will have to pay all you owe at once. If you break the promises default, we will demand that you pay all the money up front. Okay? It's a default means you do not pay any payment on time. You give false, incomplete, misleading information during credit application. You start a proceeding in bankruptcy, or one is started against you or your property, or you break an agreement in this contract. The amount you will owe will be the unpaid part of the amount financed plus the earned and unpaid part of the finance charge. Any late charges and any amounts due because you defaulted. You may have to pay collection costs. If we hire an attorney to collect what you owe, you will pay our reasonable attorney fees as the law allows. If a judgment is entered against you, you will pay any court costs the court awards us. We may take the vehicle. If you default, we may take repossession the vehicle from you if we do so peacefully and the law allows it. If your vehicle has an electronic tracking device such as GPS, you agree that we may use that device to find the vehicle. If we take the vehicle, any accessories, equipment, and replacement parts will stay on the vehicle. If any personal items are in the vehicle, we may store them for you. If you do not ask for these items back, we may dispose of them as the law allows. Okay, so now let's go a little bit further down here. Oh, wait, I missed something. Hold on. I missed a big part here. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Let me go down. Okay, that's about the arbitration. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so you see right here where it says disclosure of 36% rate cap. What that means is in Illinois, now keep in mind, because you see right here, it says a circulation under the Illinois predatory loan prevention, right? So in Illinois, hear me people, we talking about just Illinois. You got to look this up in your state. In Illinois, you're not allowed to charge more than 36%, which that's slavery. You know what I'm saying? Hell, 28% is slavery. But you're not allowed to charge anything more than 36% in Illinois. Look it up in your state. It could be different. This is one of the reasons for I wanted you guys to pull out your own car contract. Because although you might be in Pennsylvania, you might be in New York State, you know what I'm saying? Your contract, the contract might be a little bit different, but the verbiage is going to be the same. Like the way the contract is structured and set up, that shit might be looking different. But the words that they're using is going to be the same shit you see in here. You're going to have something that discloses a rate cap. Whether if you in Arizona or in California, it's going to have something, and it might be different. Your shit may say 30% opposed to 36%, but in Illinois it's 36%. Now, what does it say right below that? It say the annual percentage rate may be negotiated with the seller. The annual percentage rate may be negotiated with the seller. They never tell you this. Did you guys know that? Well, it's in the contract that you signed. Now, it said the seller may assign this contract and retain the right to receive a part of the finance charge. It says how this contract might be changed. And if you all are wondering if there's a signature right there, it's like it is, and it's mine. That's my signature, and we'll get back to that. This is my car contract. We'll get back to that in a minute. All right. It says how this contract can be changed. It says this says the contract contains the entire agreement between you and us relating to this contract. Any change to this contract must be in writing and we must sign it. No oral changes are binding. Now, as you see, by your signature, mine. There is no co-buyer. I've never had a co-signer for any car I've ever had in my life. So now, one of the things that you need to understand that's very important about that is that it's only my signature on the contract. It's only your signature on the contract. That's why I told you to pull your shit out. Now, if you ain't got one or whatever, or you can't find it, ain't no big deal. That's why you need to follow along with this so you can actually see the writing. You know what I'm saying? But if you have your own contract and you actually looking at that and looking at this video at the same time, you should be going, holy fucking shit. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me I could have negotiated my damn APR with the dealership? Why the fuck did I get a 28%? What's the name? Why? Why am I paying them twice if they telling me within the contract that what they're doing with taking out the insurance and all the other things that they're doing that that secures the payment for all I owe on the contract? Let's go back. Let's go back and look at it again. So can't nobody talk no shit. It says this is under security interest too. If you notice in big bold letters, you see, not big, in black bold letters, they got it sectioned off so you know what section you're looking for. Under security interest on your car contract, that's the section where it tells you that your car paid for. It's a security interest. You give us security interest in the vehicle and all the goods, or all the parts and all the goods put on it. All money and goods received, proceeds for the vehicle, all insurance, maintenance services, or the other contracts we finance for you. It say, or other contracts we finance for you. The reason for why you know they're doing it is because they're putting themselves down as the beneficiary. Why are they doing that, Louis Long? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You signed it. You agreed, man. You agreed. You can't even lock them up for that. You can't even, you know what I'm saying? You can't even sue them. The only thing you all can do is do what it is that I'm attempting to do. But again, we'll get back to that because as you all saw on some of those signature lines, you saw a signature. That's my signature. This is my car contract. Okay, but we'll get back to that. So it says, it say all proceeds from insurance, maintenance, and services or other contracts we finance for you. This includes any refunds or premiums or charges for this contract. It say this secures payment of all you owe on this contract. Now, do you guys understand when you hear motherfuckers saying the minute you sign for it is paid for? Yes, man, because everything you sign is a promissory note. That's how they get paid. And it's like, well, you're like, well, what do you mean, Long? Well, if I'm paying my mortgage every month, I'm paying my car note every month. That's called double dipping. They're getting paid twice. It don't mean that the car ain't paid for when the minute you sign it. It don't mean that the house is not paid for the minute you sign it. It means because of your own ignorance, your own lack of comprehension skills, and your own lack of ability to want to read your contract, you lock yourself into perpetual slavery. Hence, i.e., double dipping. And in a lot of cases, triple and quadruple dipping. But we just gonna stick with just double dipping because we know that right now. It just told you that the car is paid for. It says this secures payment on all you owe on this contract. Then why in the fuck do they have this part up here? Where they're talking about annual percentage rates, total amount of payments, and all this other shit. Why are they talking about that? Because you didn't read the contract. You didn't read the contract. You didn't know what was in it. So as a result of that, you didn't know the car was paid for. Because like I said, we're not talking about a mortgage. The mortgage is the same way, but this ain't a mortgage contract. So let's not really talk too much about the mortgage. I don't want to confuse nobody. When you hear a motherfucker tell you the minute you sign for something, you already paid for it. It could be a bank account. It could be a credit card application. It could be anything. The minute you put your fucking signature on it, they're supposed to immediately give you whatever it is that you signed. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put your name on for a credit card, right? That balance, that limit they give you, that's supposed to be yours. You're not supposed to be paying them every motherfucking month because it's already been secured. You already paid for it when you signed the contract. The signature that you put on the contract, that's what they finna get paid from. That's how they get paid. That's how you get off into the thing about, banks can't loan their own money. When I say banks can't loan you money, they can't loan their own assets. They can't loan their own financial assets and money that they made from profit. Banks do not loan you anything. When you go to a bank to get a loan, the minute you sign your motherfucking name on that contract, whatever the amount of the loan was, they supposed to give you that free and clear. You know why? Because they're finna make money triple and quadruple time off your signature. Because your signature is going to get them the permission to do certain things that allow them to make money. They just didn't tell us. Okay. So, something else that you all need to pay attention to, very important, is a notice. Any holder, now this is going back to the Uniform Commercial Code, i.e. the UCC, right? It says any holder of this consumer credit contract is subject to all claims and defenses which the debtor could assert against the seller or goods or services obtained pursuant hereto of the proceeds hereof, recovery hereunder by the debtor shall not exceed amounts paid by the debtor hereunder. Let me break that shit down to you in layman's terms. What they are telling you is this, that anybody had something to do with this contract can be held liable, but for no more of what the contract is originally supposed to be for. In a nutshell, that's what that means. So what happens is that the minute you go into a dealership and you do this, meaning this car contract you're looking at, and keep in mind, this is my car contract. Keep that in mind. Matter of fact, let me go to a signature part. See by your signature right there? Let me blow it up some more. That's my signature, okay? It was done electronically. That's why I look like that. But what they are saying to you is that anybody can be held responsible if the consumer, which in this case is me, bring forth a claim. So the way it works is you go to a dealership like how I did. In my case, this was Lexus of Arlington, all right, which is in Arlington Heights, Illinois. About, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 miles outside of Chicago, something like that. It started off with them because these are the motherfuckers who gave me the contract. They turned around and sold the contract to, what's these motherfuckers' name? Westlake Financial, right? Westlake sent me a letter in the mail. Ooh, let me see, guys. I bought the car August the 5th of last year, 2024. Westlake sent me a letter. Oh, guys, I don't know. Don't quote me. It had been maybe 7 days, maybe 10 days after I bought the car. So, okay, I bought the car August the 5th, 2024. So we'll just say for argument's sake, August the 15th, I got a letter. August 15th, August the 18th, I get a letter from Westlake Lake, like, yeah, man, we bought your debt, right? Meaning this shit that you all looking at on screen. But what you all are looking at on screen is a promissory note that's being securitized. It turns into a security. All right. That's what your bank statement is, your credit card statement, your billing statement. What else? The car note, the actual billing statement from your car note that you get from the finance company every month, the billing statement for your mortgage payment every month. All of that is a security. All of that is a security, man. Okay. This right here you're looking at is a promissory note. Then they turn around and they securitize your signature and they turn that into a security and they monetize it. That's what that shit is you getting every month in the mail for your electric bill. That's what you getting in the mail every month for, well, and they doing everything electronically now. They don't even send you billing statements in the mail no more. But it's still now it's an electronic security. It's still a fucking security because they passed the security what the fuck is it called? The act, the fucking Security Act thingy, where they said that your shit is just as lawful when you do it online, digitally, just as if you did it in person. It has the same value and effect. I forgot the name of the act, but it's basically the act they put in law where it says that you can do everything electronically now. You don't have to physically sign your name for it to carry the same weight, right? That's the reason for why you can still get your billing statement online, and it's equivalent to them sending the billing statement to you in the mail. I forgot the name of the act. Okay, but the bottom line is that Westlake sent me a letter maybe 10 to 15 days after I bought the car, informing me that they bought the fucking debt from the fake debt, because it's not real, right? But we just using it so everybody understand that they bought my debt. And they like, okay, so now you're going to have to pay us every month. So this part where it says any holder of this consumer credit contract is subject to all the claims and defenses, that includes the dealership and Westlake. Lexus of Arlington is the dealership that I bought the car from out in Arlington Heights. Look it up if you think it's bullshit. Lexus of Arlington. Okay. They are a holder. That means they're responsible, especially for what we finna talk about next. Because a couple of things we finna get into, which led me to make this video. Because if these people don't do what it is that I want them to do based off what I found out about this car contract, then I'm gonna take on the arbitration. And we're gonna get into that too. Okay. But all this means is that whoever has something to do with your signature, you can hold them responsible. And that's exactly what I'm going to do if the finance company don't do what I'm telling them to do. And I've already sent them documents. I've already got the certified mail thing saying that they received it and all this other shit. They had to sign for it in the whole 9 yards. So they got it. They got the packet that I sent them. So now the clock is ticking. If they don't respond or they just flat out refuse to do what it is that I want them to do, then I'm taking them to arbitration. That's why I always try to use myself first. And like how I told my mans that I was talking to a couple of weeks ago via text about this, I didn't want to do this video yet because I've only initiated the first step, which is to reach out to them with a pre-arbitrary notice. Okay, because arbitration is the way that you guys are going to have to go. That's the shit they don't tell us, but we're going to get into that. So essentially, again, like how I'm saying, any holder of this consumer credit contract is subject to all claims and defenses which the debtor could assert. So basically it's saying you as the debtor, because we know you're not the debtor, but just follow me here. You being the debtor, you have a right to come to anybody who held this contract. And right now we know of two people, Lexus of Arlington and Westlake. Those are two motherfuckers. Now we know they keep selling your shit over and over again, right? We know that, but we're going to deal with the first two that we know of. And that's Lexus of Arlington and Westlake. I can come after them, which I am going to, especially if these motherfuckers, Westlake, if they don't do what I want them to do, when I go into arbitration, I'm taking the dealership too. I'm filing a claim against the dealership too. And we're going to handle it at one time. We're going to be slugging it out in arbitration, the finance company, which is Westlake, and also Lexus of Arlington. Because you can drag them into it, and we're going to get into that. Okay, so that's basically all. Damn, where'd it go, babe? Baby, come on, baby. All right, there you go. Okay, so that's basically what this notice is saying right here. The disclosure of 36% is the cap. They can't charge you more than 36%. The annual percentage rate may be negotiated by the seller. That's very important for us because you know how they like to do us, brothers and sisters. Charge us 99% interest rates for 9 years and all this other bullshit. Uh-oh, did I just accidentally say 666 upside down? Anyway, but y'all understand my point. Y'all get the point I'm trying to make, okay? So, let's talk about arbitration. Here's the arbitration provision. It's a arbitration provision. Please review important affects your legal rights. Either you or we may choose to have or dispute between you and us decided by arbitration and not in court or by jury trial. So when you sign this contract, what you just told them is that you would rather go to arbitration than to go to court and have a jury trial. Why is that so important, guys? Nobody is teaching you this on the internet. They're not telling you this. Okay, well, all right, Long Wolf, I get that, but what's your point? All of the stuff that they're trying to teach you all about, like getting out of debt, the credit card companies and all that, they all have arbitration clauses. But yeah, here it is. They'll tell you about how to sue a debt collector in court and how to shield yourself from when a debt collector try to take you into court. Listen to me. Let me tell you something, right? Let's use T-Mobile for example, right? T-Mobile has an arbitration clause. Let's say you jag T-Mobile for $5,000, right? And T-Mobile like, oh, hell to the motherfucking no. You got to pay us this money, Shaquita or little man or little Pookie. We not finna let you skate on $5,000. Fuck you. And you get a summons in the mail. It looks legit. You go down to the court to verify it's legit. They taking you to court for this $5,000. Did you know that the day of court, well, prior to you going to court, because you got to enter something into the court, did you know that your response to that summons is you're supposed to enter a motion into the court to have the court thrown out based off of arbitration? I'm going to say it one more time. T-Mobile has an arbitration clause, right? What did it just say right here? It say either you or we may choose to have any dispute between you and us decided by arbitration and not going to court or by jury trial. If you sign this contract with this arbitration provision in here, that means you do agree to go to arbitration instead of going to court and having it done by jury trial. That means that they agree to have it done. So here it is, you just jagged T-Mobile for $5,000, right? Well, they saying you owe them $5,000 because the same thing go for them, that you don't really owe them anything, right? But let's say they say you owe $5,000. You get a summons in the mail saying you got to go down to your local district court, your closest district court or whatever, to appear to show why you shouldn't have to pay this $5,000 or, to prove your case. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? T-Mobile has an arbitration clause. If you sign a contract with T-Mobile, that means you agreed to arbitration, so did they. So what you're supposed to do when you get the summons, you go down to your local courthouse or wherever the fuck they trying to drag you in the court at, you file a motion in the court with the contract, because you got to show it to them. Pull up the contract, where you got all your signatures and shit on it, and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Court Judge, look at this. This is an arbitration court. You have to dismiss this case because of lack of what? Standing. What does that mean? The court doesn't have jurisdiction. And this arbitration provision is telling you this. It's telling you the court don't have jurisdiction. So that's how you stop debt collectors from taking you to court. The first thing you need to do is look at the company that is supposed to be suing you or saying you owe this money. The second thing you need to do is pull up the contract. I don't care if it's T-Mobile. I don't care if it's some past debt that you have from a car that got repoed 3-4 years ago that they trying to sue you for. It doesn't matter. Pull up the contract. If you see an arbitration clause in that contract that you signed, your only option is to go to court and have them thrown out on the grounds that the court does not have jurisdiction because there's an arbitration clause in place. And the only way to get out of going to arbitration, you all both have to agree. Okay? This is the shit they're not telling you. Now, mind you, I just gave you motherfuckers some juicy motherfucking neck bones with white potatoes and Louisiana hot sauce for free. And I even threw some green beans over in there for you motherfuckers like me who like fresh green beans in your shit. Yeah, I'm talking about the fresh one, not the canned shit. I'm talking about, going to the grocery store and buying some green beans and picking them and shit and throwing them over in there with that big ass pot of neck bones and white potatoes. Yep. And I just made some hot water cornbread to go on the side. I just gave you niggas a free meal. So shit they charging motherfuckers thousands of dollars for. I just told y'all for free. So now it says, if a dispute is arbitrated, you will give up your right to participate in a class representative or class member or any class claim you may have against us, including any right to class arbitration or any consolidation of individual arbitration. What that means is you give up your right to a class action lawsuit. That's all it means. It's a discovery and rights to an appeal and arbitration are generally more limited than a lawsuit, and other rights that you and we would have in court may not be available in arbitration. So arbitration is done on a federal level. It's not done on the state level. State level, county level, shit like that. It's done on a federal level. When you look up the Arbitration Act, right, it tells you this, okay? So now it say any claim or dispute, whether in contract, tort, statute, or otherwise, including the interpretation of the scope of the arbitration provision, any allegations of waiver of rights under the arbitration provision, and arbitrability of the claim or dispute between you and us or our employees, agent, successor, assigns, which arises out of or relates to your credit application. Okay, so now it's a you or we may choose the American Arbitration Association, www.adr.org. Okay, now this is how you go about filing for arbitration. All right, now you're getting off into some of the stuff that I'm doing. Okay, www.adr.org is the joint that you're supposed to go to. It says, and it's called the National Arbitration and Mediation. Well, there's actually two of them. I'm sorry. And it says, as the arbitration organization conduct the arbitration, if you and we agree, you or we may choose a different arbitration organization. It says you may get a copy of the rules of an arbitration organization by contacting the organization or visiting its website. Arbitration shall be attorneys or retired judges and shall be selected pursuant to the applicable rules. The arbitrator, now you guys got to look up the Arbitration Act. I'm not finna be reading all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I gave you, like I said, I just gave you all like the biggest pot of motherfucking juicy neck bones with white potatoes and the side of motherfucking Johnny cakes, man. I mean, come on now. You got to take these people to arbitration. If you got these motherfuckers coming after you because they talking about you old credit card debt and all this other fucking shit, you have to take them to arbitration. Now, here's another spicy motherfucking neck bone for y'all. If you ever had a motherfucking car repossessed and you didn't go through the arbitration process, you need to file an arbitration against them. They violated the contract. I'm going to say that one more time. If you had your car repossessed, and they did not send you a letter beforehand, which they normally don't, telling you that they were going to repossess your car, and they did not take you through the arbitration process before they took your car, you can file a claim against them in arbitration for violating the contract. Okay? This is the reason for why at the very beginning it say either you or we may choose to have any dispute between us decided in arbitration. Okay? The only way you can get out of going to arbitration, both parties have to agree. So in a case like what I'm doing, right? I sent Westlake Financial, what the fuck they call it? They located out in the address that I got off the Security and Exchange website, Commission's website, is 4751 Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 9000013 or some shit like that. But it's out there in fucking off Wilshire Boulevard, all right, which is one of those famous streets in Los Angeles. Okay, that's where these motherfuckers are located. So I sent them a pre-arbitration notice. You always want to let the person know that you're suing, that you're going to sue them if we can't come to a conclusion. So I laid out my grievances in a letter. And no, I'm not giving you motherfuckers no template. You got to write up your own shit. All right? This is one of the reasons for why my stuff is free. Because I don't do no leg work for people, no physical leg work. Because I'm going to charge you if I was to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I drafted up a notice and I say, hey, man, these are all the things that I found out that I've noticed in this car contract. You all need to do this, and this, or we're going to go to arbitration. Right? So I put it in an envelope. I sent the certified mail with the little green card, signature card, receipt thing, and I sent it out to them. Okay, to Los Angeles. All right. If they don't respond, and by, let's say Thursday of this week, I'm going to file arbitration. I may give them a little bit longer. I may wait till like the 20th of this month. You know what I'm saying? Just to give them ample time. I sent the shit off on the 16th. They didn't get it until the 5th. I don't know what's going on with the post office in Los Angeles and shit. I don't know what's going on with them Negroes out there. But yeah, it took 3 weeks for them to get it. So I'm giving them a little bit of time to respond to me. If they say fuck me, I'm going to take them to arbitration. And we'll get into why I'm doing that. All right. So now, down here, something that's very important that you all need to understand. It says arbitrators shall be attorneys or retired judges, and they shall be selected pursuant to the applicable rules. The arbitrator shall apply governance, substantive law, and applicable statutes of limitation. The arbitration hearing shall be conducted in the federal district in which you reside, unless the seller creditor is a party to the claim or dispute, in which the case hearing will be held in the federal district where the transaction was originated. Okay, so now in this particular case, the transaction originated here in Illinois, so my arbitration is going to be done here. Even though Westlake is the finance company, it didn't start out with Westlake. Because you may say, well, Westlake is in California. That's true. But remember, I told y'all if I'm forced to take these people to arbitration, I'm not just taking Westlake to arbitration. I'm taking Lexus Arlington to arbitration as well. You can do that. You can take all parties. That's why I read the above part where it said any holder of this contract is subject to any damages that the debtor may bring forward. That's why I read that to y'all. They say any holder. You don't transfer your right as a holder just because you sold the fucking contract to Westlake. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, Lexus or Arlington did not lose their right as a holder just because they sold that contract to Westlake. That's not how that worked. They just made Westlake a holder also. So I'm a holder, they're a holder. And it's more than three. It's more than me, Westlake, and Lexus or Arlington, but we don't want to get into that. I have to probably say that for a later video. But it goes into telling you that the arbitrator shall apply governing substantial law. Oh no, damn, we read that part. Hold on. It say we paid the filing, administrative service, or case management fee, and the arbitrator. Hold on, sorry. Damn, hold on. It say we will pay the filing, administrative service, or case management fee, and the arbitrator or hearing fee up to a maximum of $5,000. So in other words, they have to pay for the arbitration, people. To file the fees and shit. Okay, so you guys know I took a child protective service judge to court and a child protective service social worker who took my son. I didn't fill out for like no hardship or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just paid the fees to file to go to court. Y'all know that I attempted to, they did me so dirty. But anyway, I attempted to take a company I used to work for, the federal court, for taxes. Well, I didn't file for no hardship or whatever. I just paid the fees. It's like $404 or some shit, $403 I had to pay. You know what I'm saying? Well, in this particular situation, they got filing fees and like so-called court costs too. But you don't pay it. Up to $5,000 you don't pay. They have to pay it. So in other words, if you take MasterCard to arbitration, MasterCard have to pay the arbitration. I'm about to get ready and take Experian. Did you guys know that Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax got an arbitration clause? Did y'all know that? How many motherfuckers on here is telling y'all you supposed to be taking Experian and TransUnion in the arbitration? They telling you all, there are actual videos where they telling you how to sue a credit company, a credit agency in court. That's actually in the title of the video. That's what the content of their video is about. Suing a credit card, a place like TransUnion or Equifax in court. You can't sue them in court. They got an arbitration clause. Do you see the fuckery, man, and the scam? And if you think I'm lying, all you got to do is go to Google and type in TransUnion's arbitration clause, Equifax or Experience Equifax or Experience arbitration. Just go there and type in Equifax arbitration clause. It's going to come right up. The terms of the arbitration and everything. It's going to look very similar to what you're looking at here. And I've already looked it up. They even tell you in their arbitration clause that if you take them to arbitration, they got to pay for the filing fee. This is some deep shit, people. This is some deep shit. Nobody's telling you this. And once again, I'm giving you guys this shit for free. They pay the filing costs for the arbitration. Okay, so now let's get to why I'm taking them to arbitration. Seeing that I'm in the process of taking them because they may settle. All right, so let's go all the way back up to the top. The reason for why I am taking them to arbitration is because they sold me a blank contract. All these spots that you all are looking at right here are blank. And I told y'all this is my contract. I've already showed y'all my signature. My name ain't on here. I never had a cosigner in my life, so that ain't no big deal. But the seller, the creditor information is not right here either. Lexus of Arlington's information is supposed to go where it says seller or creditor because that's who I did business with. I didn't do business with Westlake. Okay? You see where it say new, used, make, model, or dominant, and this, that, and the other? It's supposed to say used, a 2010 Acura RL. It had 68,000 miles on it. That's why I bought the motherfucker. I'm like 68,000 miles on this in 2010. Fuck it, let me get that. And it's a Honda too. Fuck it, let me roll with that. Okay, and the VIN number and everything like that, as you can see, is all blank. See the Federal Truth in Lending? This is where I'm finna get them at. Right here. It's all blank. See where it say your payments and schedule will be? It's all blank. Now the late charges and shit, that's standard. That's why that's already there. Where it say within 10 days after it is due, or a late charge of $10 or 5%, that's standard. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was already on there. Now, see this right here? My signature. See it? See that say buy your signature? Look at that. I signed a blank contract, people. Look at the itemized amount financed, all blank. The entire fucking contract is blank. Now, let me show you all this. Look at this part. It's a It said you agree to the terms of the contract. You confirm that before you signed the contract, we gave it to you and you were free to take it and review it. You acknowledge that you read all pages of this contract, including the arbitration provision on page 5. Before signing below, you confirm that you received a completely filled in copy with when you signed it. It say, do not sign this agreement before you read it or if it contains any blank spaces. You are entitled to an exact copy of the agreement you sign. Under the law, you have the right, among others, to pay in advance the full amount due and to obtain under certain conditions a partial refund of the finance charges. Now, as you all can see, my signature right there. See that? All this shit at the top is blank. Right? Now I know y'all probably saying, well, damn, along with that, you just read where it tells you not to sign it if there were empty spaces. Here's the thing about this. Lexus of Arlington don't give you a hard copy of the contract. They don't give you the contract for you to look it over and then come back and say, okay, let's make the deal. They don't even let you read the contract. The contract and all of the signing of the documents is done on a tablet. If I'm not mistaken, this was a fucking Android tablet. This wasn't even an Apple tablet that they was using. It was an Android tablet. And with each page, once the first page I signed was the agreement about us doing it electronically. That was the first page I signed. After that, he was like, check this box. Check right here. Check right here. And every time I checked that box, my signature appeared. Everywhere where you see a signature. Like right here. See my signature right down here at the bottom? He was like, check that box. As soon as I checked that box, my signature appeared. This signature is off of my state ID. What they did was they took a copy of my state ID, they uploaded it into their system. Once again, I told y'all I bought this fucking car with no driver's license. When they scanned my ID and uploaded it to their system, they cut out just the signature part. So every time I signed the box, this signature right here came up. This is my signature. I'm agreeing to that. I'm admitting that this is mine. Okay? But what they did not do was let me read it. What they did not do was give me a copy and let me take it. Like I was telling you that you have a right to look this over there. You have a right to get an exact copy of the actual contract that you signed and to look it over for your review. They never did any of that. They never did any of that. So what I am doing now, like I said, I sent them a pre-arbitration notice. Basically meaning, hey man, we got a problem, right? And within the letter, I told them what the problem was. Not only that, this entire contract that you guys are looking at, I sent it back to them to say, hey man, this shit is blank, right? Now you want to know something else that's very interesting? When you go to Westlake, Westlake is the finance company. When you go to their portal and put in my username and password, to get inside the portal, like where you can go and make payments and see your billing statement and everything like that. Did you know that all my billing statements are blank? Think about this, guys. You get a billing statement in the mail and it has your name on it, which in my case is blank. It has the account number, which in my case is blank. It has the billing date, from one date to the next or whatever, which in my case is blank. It tells you the amount that you owe. In my case, is blank. It tells any past due amount that you need to pay. In my case, is blank. It talks to you about any amount that you still have left. Like, let's say like you didn't pay all of it last month, right? Let's say your bill is $40 a month, right? But you only paid 20. So that means this month you're going to owe 60. Well, none of that information is filled out. The original 40 that I'm supposed to pay every month, or any amount that I didn't pay that they charging me for, like the interest and the fees and shit they charge you, late payments and all that shit is blank. The entire fucking billing statement is blank. I don't think I done put this shit in an envelope and send it to them. Now you niggas who know me, man, and know me well, people who can pick up the phone and call me and shit, y'all already know how I am. Don't think I didn't put all that shit in the envelope and send it back to him with a letter like, man, what in the fuck is this? Now, don't misunderstand me. There's no profanity in there. I didn't use any profanity or anything. But you guys get my point. Especially the people who know me. Especially the people that used to attend my Zoom meetings. They'll tell you like, yeah, this nigga a fool. Because I used to do shit like this in the Zoom meetings. We would have Zoom meetings and I would share my screen and I would show motherfuckers shit. And the motherfuckers who used to attend my Zoom meetings, the people who can pick up the phone and call me, they know. I just talked to Lou Cherokee the other day, called her crazy ass. What up, sis? I was talking to her the other day, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers like her, she know how I get down. I put her on to send mail for free. You know what I'm saying? She know how I roll. Straight up. And many other people who got my phone number that can contact me, they tell you the same thing. I don't fucking play these games. So I sent them a letter. And I'm like, hey, man, look at all these documents, man. I'm sending you guys everything that I got. I'm sending you guys 3 billing statements that you all have sent me. That's 3 billing statements, one for each month, that are all blank. It don't even have no fucking name on it. None of the information, the digits, the dollar amounts, all that shit is blank. How in the fuck did you guys buy a blank contract? So I told him, I say, listen, man, I'm not canceling the contract because, the statute of limitations is probably gone. It's been a year. You know what I'm saying? It had been just short of a year when I actually sent them the letter, because I sent them the letter last month, like on the 16th or something. I bought the car August the 5th of last year. Today is what, like the 12th or something? So it's been a year. So I told him, I said, look, I'm not trying to cancel the contract, but here's what I am going to do, people. I go down to right here under security interest. And I told them that I revoked their security interest. Over here, where they was talking about repossessing the car and using GPS and all this other shit, I revoked all of that. I put in that part where it tells you that this secure payment on all you owe for the contract. I put that in the fucking what's the name? Hey man, this is what the contract say. Then I went down to the part of the contract where it say, right here, where it say how this contract can be changed. It say the contract content contains the entire agreement between you and us relating to the contract. Any changes to the contract must be in writing and we must sign it. No oral changes are binding. What the fuck do you mean we? The only person that signed it is me. Here's a signature here. Who else shit you see? Nobody's. Here's a signature right here. Who else signature do you see? Nobody. Here's a signature right there. Who else signature do you see? Nobody's. The only signature you see right here that's not mine, see it right here? What does it say down here at the bottom? It say no public liability insurance issue with this transaction. That's the only signature you see. That's the signature from the finance manager telling you that they didn't put no insurance. No liability, no public liability insurance. Because the insurance that they take out on you ain't public, it's private. The insurance that we was talking about in the up top right here, where it tell you right here, where they say that it say you agree to not expose the vehicle to misuse, seizure, confiscation, or involuntary transfer if we pay any repair bills, storage. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. It say all proceeds from insurance, maintenance, service, or other contracts we finance for you. That's on the private side. Down here at the bottom, this say no public liability insurance. That means like you get into an accident and you hurt somebody in the public, the insurance company will cover it. That's what this shit mean down here. And they saying that type of insurance was not issued. The shit that you see up here under the security agreement under section 2, 2A, B, 2, 2A, 2B, and 2C, they're talking to you about the shit that they're going to take out. Right? Now, the reason why you got to understand this is that this is part of the perk that you're supposed to receive for giving them a promissory note. Just like the car or the house or that boat that you bought or that ATV that you bought or that fucking lawnmower that you can sit down on and drive and shit because you got a decent amount of property and you ain't finna be pushing no lawnmower. That's the perk that you get for giving them your signature. So now when you add that to the fact that you motherfuckers gave me a blank contract, and even under Illinois statute, which I have it, I have the Illinois statute. This is going to be part of my evidence if we end up in arbitration. Under the Illinois compiled statute, it tells you that all boxes must be filled out for the fucking contract to be valid. And I already got the statute under Illinois where it tells you this. This is the reason for why I keep telling you guys, man, you all have to do y'all research. You motherfuckers wouldn't be paying people if you did your own research, number one, right? And you sought out people like myself who was willing to give you this information for free. Now, my thing is, I'm not finna be sitting down typing all this shit up for people. I mean, if you like really elderly and sick and fucked up or something, I mean, maybe we could work something out. You know, if you were blind or some shit, you know, then we could probably work something out. But just for some healthy, strong, willful ass nigga, you got me fucked up. Pale skinned people too. You a healthy, willful, pale skinned, Hispanic, Latino motherfucker? No, I'm not finna be doing this shit for you. Fuck that. Do it yourself, man. God damn, I'm doing enough. I'm giving you the information, man. I'm not only am I giving you the information, I'm showing it to you, man. I'm showing it to you. I'm begging you to pull out your own car contract. Look at your shit, man. God damn. And I'm not charging anybody. Now, I get a little irritated by that because it's like, what the fuck, man? You got motherfuckers out here charging people. Like I say, the other brother I talked to a couple of weeks ago, he already knew about this video. He knew I was going to do it. He knew the reason why I had been putting it off and shit about doing it. You know what I'm saying? But like how I was explaining to him, it's like, damn, bro, I put the information out there, man. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility. It's baby girl next door responsibility to take this fucking information and look into it for yourself. We just covered the part where it tell you that the annual percentage rate within this contract can be negotiated. They put it in the contract. Why in the fuck are you giving people 27, 28, 29% joints, man? Why are you doing that shit? Why are you doing it? Because you're a low-down, double-dipping, greedy, fucking enslaved, fucking piece of shit master asshole. Because you're a part of the ruling class and you think that we all should be under your fucking thumb. That's why they do it. They tell you that all of the additional contracts that they take out on your signature, because you gave them permission to do it, secures the payment for all that you owe on the contract. It secures it. That means you don't owe any money. Then why are you making me pay every month? Why am I paying this motherfucking high-ass interest rate? Newsflash, pale-skinned folks. Share this with your pale-skinned people and tell them that this is slavery, motherfucker. For all you white privileged motherfuckers and anybody who want to talk about white privilege and this, that, and the other, this is the reason for why y'all hear the lone wolf tell you there ain't no such thing as white privilege. It's bullshit. You want to know why? Because the white folks who think they got privilege that pay a car note every month, they car contracts say the same motherfucking thing. So how in the fuck are they privileged? Tell me how. Tell me how. There ain't no white privilege. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. If they foreclosing on white folks' home for this very same type of shit, if they are repossessing pale-skinned people car and their car contract look just like this, how in the fuck are they privileged? How? It's a myth, people. It's gaslighting, and I hate using that word, but I know y'all recognize that word. It's gaslighting, people. It's propaganda. It's bullshit. I will be trying to make an update. I'm not making no promises because y'all already know what the shit that's going on with YouTube. They talking about doing some extra stupid funky shit, and I really don't have time. I would like to make a part 2 to this video. just to kind of give you guys some sort of update as to what it is that's going to happen next. Like if they respond to me, what they said to me, if they didn't respond, and I decided I had to take an arbitration in the whole 9 yards, right? Because the thing that you have to understand is you have no excuse. And the arbitration clause is telling you that they got to pay for it, the company. Let's go back. Let's look at it again. Arbitration provision. Let's go down to the part where it said, right here at the 5,000 mark, it say, we will pay the filing. Who is we? Westlake in this particular situation. Well, I thought you might say, well, wait a minute, Lone Wolf, you said that you bought the car from Lexus or Arlington. That's true. But because I'm actually paying the money to Westlake Financial, Westlake is going to be the first motherfucker I come after, which in this particular case, I sent a pre-arbitrary notice to Westlake, right? I didn't send one to Lexus or Arlington. And the number one reason why I didn't send one to them is because they're going to contact them. Listen to me. You can rest assured that now that Westlake Financial has gotten my pre-arbitrary notice package, because I think they has like 30 pages. Swear for God. They're going to reach out to them. They're going to reach out to Lexus or Arlington. Trust me. Because they're one of the holders. They're on the hook for this shit. They're going to reach out to them, even if it's just to talk about how they're going to share liability in the event that this shit go way south. Okay? It say, we will pay the filing administrative service or case management fee and the arbitrator or hearing fee up to a maximum of $5,000. That means you don't even have to have no money to get started, man. Don't you know that I looked up MasterCard arbitration? It's got the same words in here. Don't you know I looked up TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience arbitration clause? It has the same words in here. I'm finna take Experian ass to arbitration for inaccurate shit that they won't take off my motherfucking credit report that I keep fucking going to the CFPB about. Now I understand why nothing is being done. Because I ain't took them to arbitration. It's like, wow. So again, man, like I said, because I'm about to end this. A minute and 15 minutes, that's long enough. And I know you guys got questions, you know what I'm saying? And I like to answer some of them. But at the end of the day, too, man, I want you motherfuckers to start doing your own research. Like I told y'all before, we have to share this knowledge. We have to build a pipeline of knowledge. And at this point, it's probably too late. With the censorship and all this shit that's coming on YouTube and all this other stuff, it's probably too late. But we need to build a pipeline of knowledge, man, where you got brothers and sisters that's in your same community and brothers and sisters that's in different states and different locales that's sharing information. They don't want us doing this. This is the reason for why they doing the censoring shit with YouTube, where now you got to put in your ID and all this other bullshit just to get on some sort of website. That's why they doing it. They trying to shut us down. Start doing your fucking research, people. I'm sorry, I keep making the damn screen move. My bad. Start doing y'all research, man. All right? Again, this is another video coming from the heart. Share this video, man, with people you know got a mortgage. Share this video with somebody you know that, like, you know, got their car repossessed or something. Whether if it was your mama, your aunt, or whoever. Share this video with them. Make their ass pull out their car contract. You got a grandmother or auntie that got repossessed, you go to your aunt and make her pull out her contract. Find the arbitration clause. And then ask your aunt, did they take you to arbitration before they repossessed your car? Did they send you a letter telling you they was going to repossess your car before they repossessed your car? They're supposed to do that. And if your aunt tell you no, you guys need to start looking into arbitration. It already tells you where you supposed to look. Where you supposed to go. It's the American Arbitration Association, www.adr.org, or National Arbitration and Mediation, which is www.namadr.com. Damn, man, we gotta stop fucking around. All right? Once again, it's a video coming from the heart, man. It's coming from the heart because I care. I do. I care about y'all. I do. Straight up. But I don't give a fuck about no people that can't get off their ass, man, and put forth the effort. I understand you might need help, right? We all need help, guys. Come on, man. When they took my son from me, I needed people help. I was begging for help. Women broke my heart. I thought women would have been the motherfuckers who came to my aid to help me, but they didn't. right? We all need help. I'm not talking about you needing help. I'm talking about your inability to get off your lazy ass and put some work in. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And with that being said, man, it's your original Lone Wolf. I'm signing off.